The Makkot Daf Amud Aleph by the Gemara, 23 lines down. The first halakha in our Mishnah, previously mentioned, was that a person who throws a stone into the Shut Harabim and it kills someone, he's Hayab Galut. And the Gemara says the Shut Harabim Mazidu. If he's throwing it in public, why is he going to Galut? It's practically on purpose. There's no exile for that. Marav Shmuel Bar Yitzhak, the guy is destroying his wall and it fell. The Gemara says that he should have checked. Also, he's negligent. Better Kotlo Balala, he did it at nighttime. No reason to think people were there. Balala Nami Balene should have checked. Maybe people are passing by. Better Kotlo Ashba, he was destroying his walls to fall into a garbage pile outside. Hi Ashba Yachidoni, what's the story with this garbage pile? People use that garbage pile as the public restroom. Posheru, still negligent. Ilosh but if there's no people using it, Anusu, it's a complete accident. There shouldn't even be galut. Doesn't make sense. The Gemara is referring to a place where it's usually used by people at nighttime. And not people and not usually used during the day. However, during the day, some people do sit there. He's not negligent. People are not usually there. Onus now he's also not. It's not a complete accident. Can make it because people sometimes do sit there. Okay. Yaakov said that if the guy stuck his head out into the path of the incoming projectile, you are patur from galut. Termanan. The pasuk says that it shall find the victim. Paratno says more, it excludes someone who puts himself in the path. Someone sticks his head out after the projectile is released from the person's hand. The guy stuck his head out afterward to put himself in the path. You're patur. Does that mean that when it says matzah, it was found? It only means from the beginning and not afterward? And many of us elsewhere regarding someone who sells his ancestral land. In general, you're allowed to redeem if you sell your land that's been in your family for many years. You're allowed to redeem it and pay it to get it returned to you. Now the problem is if you want to redeem it, you can't have had that money elsewhere. Meaning, so if you had two lands, for example, you had one far, one close, or one good, one bad, you can't say, "Oh, I'm selling the small one, the bad one, to buy back the big one, to buy back the better one." That's not good. That's not good. You're only selling it if you have no money, and if you have no money, that means nothing at all. You can't use different land to purchase that back. So you see from here, however, that the word that you had already, that it's found by you, means that you did something that you didn't have previously. Against our Gemara. Gemara says, no, the context of each pasuk has to make sense. That pasuk by the fields, that thing that he found, quote unquote, should be the equivalent of the way he has means, which means that he has flus. Has been money that he has now, excludes someone who had assets at the time of the sale. Also, in our context, the thing that if he found the victim is comparable to the case of the forest in our pasuk. Just like the forest is already there, so too the person had to be in the path of the projectile. Okay, someone throws a stone. Abashul says it's only for a voluntary item. You're doing this for fun, chopping wood, not like a mitzvah. They ask the question. The truth. Who says that our pasuk is Tuman wood chopping is for voluntary? Maybe it's for a mitzvah. Is chopping wood for sukkah. Or he's cutting wood for like using it for the mizbeach. And the Torah would still say you're chayav galut. One second, in the case of sukkah, or in the case of mizbeach, if you found wood on the floor, is it not considered part of mitzvah? Mitzvah. Meaning, there's no mitzvah to cut the wood. There's a mitzvah to have the wood. So if you found wood that's already cut, you're allowed to use it, like we do nowadays. We don't have to cut down our wood for our sechach and stuff. So there's no mitzvah in essence to cut. It's a accessory to the mitzvah. It's preparation for the mitzvah. Hechsher mitzvah. That's different. Excludes the case. We said in the Mishnah that a father hits his son and accidentally kills him. Or a student gets hit by his teacher, or a person from the court killing someone. Maybe you say, let's say the guy was learn his lesson without being hit, or he would learn his lesson, he's already good, and the father is still hitting the son. That would exclude it seemingly. and it would not be considered mitzvah. Gemara says no. The gamir mitzvah, even if he would learn the lesson without being hit, or even if he's already learned, it's a mitzvah to still discipline him. Why? If you discipline your child, it will bring delights to you. Rava then said, what I said before is not a good question. I could have given a better answer. Pasuk says, you meet it greets your friend in the forest. The thing that says if it would come into contact with the person in the forest, which means if means voluntary, no mitzvah. If you said the daf mitzvah, if it was a mitzvah to do something, like for example, making the sukkah, it wouldn't be an if, you'd have to do it. Well, so now whenever the pasuk is asher, if it means it's voluntary, and the pasuk says, if a man would become tamen, not become tahor, and he goes karet, well, he gets karet because he goes in Bet HaMikdash while he's tamen. What does that mean? If he wants to become tameh, he becomes tameh. So if he has a mitzvah, a corpse that has no one to bury, he buries it. It means he's not going to become tameh. He's not going to become tameh because he doesn't want to become tameh. Of course he would be. So it can't be if means that. The Mar says the over there is different by Tuma. Pasuk says tameh, he's automatically tameh, no matter what. I mean, but we need that pasuk of tameh yet for something else. Tameh he yad rabot tivuyom. A person is tameh. And chayav keret for entering Bet HaMikdash while he's tameh, including a person who's the tivul yom, tumato bol rabot mechusar kippurim, also a person mechusar kippurim doesn't have kapara. These two type of people are people who are tameh, and one of them dipped, but he has to wait to the end of the day. That's one. That's still considered tameh, but he has to wait. And then mechusar kippurim means he's lacking just the korban at the end. So these people are at the end of their stages of tumah, practically already tahor. Even they are included. But we see that pasuk is already used to teach us that. So how can we use it for us? And the guy is chayav if he's tameh for a mitzvah. The Gemara says, I use the word od. Okay, they teach us through the following: you shall at the plowing and the cutting you shall rest during Shemitah. Rabbi Akiva Omer, I don't need the pasuk to teach me plowing and cutting in the Shemitah year. Pasuk clearly says that. Rather, it's teaching you can't plow or harvest or plow for the 6th year, in the 6th year, for the 7th year. Because the Bishma says, which is like plowing is voluntary, and it's never mitzvah. Is referring to cutting also for voluntary. It's like but you were allowed to cut the omer for the korban omer, which we're counting now during the severat omer, which is the mitzvah. There's a question. Who says plowing is voluntary? Maybe he's plowing for the omer, which is also mitzvah. Or Shabbat. Amalei answers, 1 second. Who says you need to plow? No, if it's already plowed, you wouldn't need to plow it anymore. Lav mitzvah. Therefore, he's not mitzvah. Same thing earlier regarding the person who's actually killing his student or his son, or Bedin killing a person. Who says maybe you wouldn't need to hit him? The Gemara same answer. It's good discipline. I have a better answer. Reaping, cutting is similar to plowing. Just like plowing, if it's already plowed, you don't need to plow it again. So too, right? Cutting, harvesting. But it's fine. If you want to think that cutting for the Omer is mitzvah, if it's already cut, it doesn't count. You don't have to cut more. No, once it's cut, it's fine. You can bring it. Therefore, there's no actual mitzvah in cutting it. It's part of the preparation for the mitzvah. No mishnah. The father is exiled for killing his son by accident. Also vice versa, son to father. Everybody goes to galut for killing a Jew. Okay, was everybody? We'll explain the Gemara. And a Jew it goes to galut for accidentally killing them. We'll explain again. Except for a ger toshav. Ger toshav, we keep mentioning, so pay attention. Ger toshav means a person who accepts a goy who accepts himself and he is a goy, but he's a ger toshav. He does misev himself. But ger toshav and a toshav. A ger toshav does not go to galut unless he kills another ger toshav. Okay. Ha'av goleh aydeh haben. A father goes to galut for killing his son. But I'm not going to Mishnah says we said it earlier, the father hits his son Patur. The Gemara says the Gamir, so much case he's already learned it. The Gemara if he's learned it, he's still hidden. The Gemara says Bishul the Nagri. No, he's not teaching him Torah that he has to hit him for. He's doing it. Let's say he's teaching him a trade like carpentry. One second, if the father is trying to teach him a trade like carpentry, it's also mitzvah to do. Gemara says the Gamir he has a different livelihood, he has a different trade. He's trying to teach him a new one. That's not a mitzvah. Next part, son to father. The Rini Stira says in Makkot Nefesh, someone hits someone, kills someone else. Prat Makkot Aviz someone hits his father. The Gemara says, Omar Rabba Kana, it's not a Stira. Lakasha, how Rabbi Shimon Rabbi Banan? It's Machalka between Rabbi Shimon and Rabbanan. The Rabbi Shimon the Marhenik, according to Rabbi Shimon, that holds that Henik is a Hamur Mesayaf. Strangulation is more Hamur than Sayaf, beheading, Hedig. Throwback Thursday for those who are did Sanhedrin. If a person were to kill his parent on purpose, he gets Henik, not Hedig. Someone killed his parent by accident, then Galut would not be good enough for him because the mitad does not add up. Because why? The accidental avera for something that would be chayav for hereg, you'd be able to get galut. But a person who would do the accidental avera of a avera that if did on purpose, you get henek, there's no kapara. You cannot get exiled for that. That's according to this brayta. And around the Amray Hamim will say that the heading is more severe than henek. Horeg abi b'shigat sayafu. Killing one's father by accident is an accidental isur that would have got him headache. And accidental murder, accidental avira of a sayaf avira, an avira that you would have gotten headache for, you can get kapara, therefore he can get galut. Rabbi says it excludes someone who wounds his father, but does not kill him. Right? So usually a person who wounds his father is yamita. But if he did an accident, he does not get galut. You might think, you might think since he's hayab mitah for killing his for wounding his father on purpose, maybe if he doesn't wound his father by accident, he should get malkut. Therefore, Mishnah says no. Hakol golina de Israel. We said everybody gets galut for killing a Jew. Hakol golina de Israel. What are we trying to include over here? This includes a slave and a kuti. A kuti is a person, certain people during the times of Sanhedrin, there was lions attacking 9 Jews, and some people converted. It might have been a sketch conversion, and we call them kuti. So now, it includes a slave and a kuti that they are galut for killing a Jew by accident. 1 second, we have this elsewhere. Israel. Person, a kuti will get galut or malkut if he does to a Jew, and vice versa. I understand why Eved or a kuti would get galut for what he did to a Jew, or get malkut for what he did to a Jew. In one case, if he killed by accident, he would get galut. Or if he cursed the Jew, he'll get malkut. But if a Jew to get galut or to get malkut for what he did to a kuti is a problem. Galut, maybe he killed him by accident. Fine. But what would you get malkut for? If he cursed him, Pasuk says, but don't curse a prince among your people. What does that mean? That's a part of your nation, which may exclude someone who's not in your nation. You won't get malkut for cursing a non-Jew. The says, in my case where the Jew testified about a kuti that he was guilty for a punishment for malkut, and the Jew was then zomend. The says what would be now we put in the same sentence regarding Eved. So what would that be? The corresponding parallel case that you did malkut, you testified, a slave testified against a Jew and he got zomem for malkut. Eved bar too, the slave can't testify. He hit a kuti, a hit, that there is not enough money to pay for piruta, meaning that there was not enough damages to pay the minimum amount. Look at a person who hits someone else with not enough money, not enough damages to charge him for any money, he gets malkut. We don't compare the halacha of hitting to the halacha of cursing, right? So we have this in Sanhedrin as well, that same way you may be patur from paying if you you're patur from curse from Makkot for cursing, you might think you're patur for hitting. Mashmalan, you do get hit. You do get Makkot for hitting.